You have the chance to step outside your usual way of experiencing yourself. You get to notice some of your strengths, your skills, like being able to focus for a while, or relax for a while, or experience and learn new things. In many ways and on many levels, the calming experience of this kind of focusing exercise provides a comfortable context for being able to discover and even rediscover parts of yourself or aspects of your experience that you just don't get time enough in a busy life to consider and to enjoy. So in this gentle experience, I invite you, in the most respectful way that I know how, to explore your inner world a little in order to discover those parts of yourself that you really can enjoy, and those parts of you that you can use in daily life to your own best advantage. Now, when I use the phrase exploring and discovering, I don't know just what comes to mind for you, but you might easily recall some recent experience of going someplace new and different, where you could use your curiosity to really look around and enjoy being there. Maybe it was a new place you were visiting on a vacation, or some other new place that you had a chance to explore. The point is that you have a lifetime of those kinds of experiences, of being someplace unfamiliar and being curious enough to look around. Even as a child, you can easily remember a time when you were quite young, a time of going exploring in some new and exciting place. Maybe it was a new school, or a new teacher's classroom perhaps, or going over to a new friend's house to play for the first time, and going through the typical child's ritual of taking a look at which toys they have or which games they have to play. Later in the teen years, it's common whenever you went over to someone's house for the first time to immediately go to their record or CD collection and see what music they were listening to, what music they enjoyed, just exploring their taste in music and how it related to your own, or discovering what things they like to collect. Maybe it was exploring someplace when you were a child on vacation, or on a trip with your family perhaps. But you can easily recall a memory now of going exploring, a memory that you haven't thought of in years and years. And it's a memory that reminds you about your natural curiosity, reminds you about your willingness to be adventurous in your own way. And if there's one particular memory that drifts to the surface now, maybe it's one that you've thought of many times because it's a favorite of yours, or maybe it's a memory that you haven't thought of in a long time, but a memory of a time when you went exploring and you found something so unexpected and delightful, something so unexpected, and yet it was just great, and you were happy to have discovered it. What a treat when you think of an experience like that, and what it was like to use your curiosity. And then to have that kind of experience rediscovered now as a part of you, a part of your personal history, to be able to recall and enjoy now, even years later. Well, you might wonder why I'm talking about exploring and discovering. But I think at a deeper level, a much deeper level, you already know how important exploring and discovering is. It's a process of learning, a process of using your curiosity and being open to finding out what's out there, waiting to be discovered. And you have a lifetime of experiences of discovering and learning. When you were a young child, you learned the alphabet of whatever your native language happens to be. And it wasn't easy. Having to learn all the different letters at first seems a very difficult task for a young child. But it sets the foundation for the all-important skills of learning to read and write. And though it is a challenge at first, it gradually becomes automatic, an effortlessly used ability that you very probably take for granted now. And when you were a young child, learning to count numbers was challenging. To learn mathematical processes of addition and subtraction, division, multiplication isn't easy, but it provides a foundation for a lifetime of being able to make daily calculations. And over time, your use of numbers became second nature, so automatic. This might well interest you enough to give it some careful thought. How something can seem challenging at first, that gradually, through practice and repetition, becomes effortless and easy and natural. Think of how many experiences you've accumulated over your lifetime, exactly like this process, where something seems difficult at first, but eventually becomes easy and fluid and effortless. You can think of an example, even many examples, whether it's learning to drive a car or do your job or read a map or help out a friend, or even much simpler things you had to learn to do, such as getting dressed or changing a light bulb or tying your shoes. All simple things now, but things that didn't seem to be all that simple at one time. And when you consider that everyone approaches new skills or situations with uncertainty, it can help. After all, how can someone feel confident about something they've never done before? What a relief to be able to grow comfortable with exploring